Hello, welcome back. This is Ray with Ray's Engines. You can find me on Facebook at Ray's Engines. Uh, also, if you hit the like button and you subscribe to my channel, you'll get more how-to videos. Do it yourself. Uh, Today is a series of part 5. We are on part 5, which we're going to be installing the heads today. We're also going to be putting all the lifters in there. I already did the balancer for you. In fact, this is the tool I use to install the balancer. On one side is for the small block, and the other side is for the big block. So you basically screw this in to the crankshaft, and you just turn this, and this is basically pushing your balancer on there. Whatever you do, don't hammer the balancer on there. Yes, some people out there do hammer it. I don't recommend doing it. What you're doing is messing with the end play of your crankshaft. So use the correct tool to install it. And what I do to install the balancer, here's a used one. I put oil on this side so it doesn't mess up your front seal. And then I put oil on this side so it'll be an easy installation. I already installed the lifters. I already did all the lifters except one. I left one out because, again, I used assembly loop on the lifter itself. So that's the bottom end. Remember, we're using a flat tappet. We're using a flat tappet cam. So on that end, that's the bottom end. This end is the push rod. This is where the push rod pushes in the lifter. And you see there's a small hole. That's where the oil. So make sure you lube it. And then it's very easy. All you do is slide them back in. Just like that. So we're going to install the heads. And here's the head bolts. So since these go inside the water jackets, you do need to get some thread sealer. And I use this one. I use the ARP thread sealer. And all you do is put that. And just squeeze it on there all the way around. And that prevents water to go inside your oil. If you get water inside your oil, you can forget about your bearings, forget about the engine. So don't forget this step. You do that for every single boat. And remember, we're doing a budget build, small block, the most basic way. These are gaskets that we're putting, and if you see, it'll say up on this one. So make sure this side goes facing this way, and you'll see the dowel pins. It has two dowel pins, one on that front side and one in the back side. So you basically just put your gasket in place and push it down, and it'll be on the dowel pins. That's it. It goes on dry. I already cleaned the surface of where the head's going to go on, so then you put your gasket on there. And that's it for that. And then you put your first cylinder head on there. And these heads already have a valve job. They already have a valve job. And then you basically hold the top part and the bottom part. And you put them on the dowel pins. And that's it. Yes, as you can tell, cast iron is a lot heavier. If you can, go with aluminum. I usually go with aluminum just because of weight savings. But again, budget bill. So then you just get your head bolt. Put it on the first one right in the center. That holds it in place. Get your second one just to make sure. Again, here's you can get this online. You can get a torque spec online, and as you can see on that one, it does give you a torque sequence. Also gives you all the torque specs. So this is also for a big block down here. This is small block up here. You can get these online, and this one requires 65. Yep, 65 for the head bolts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the head bolts first. Just enough so you can have it in there, and then I'll come back around with the ratchet. Like I said, if there's any questions, any concerns, I forgot to mention your small block Chevrolet on the edge. You got one on one edge, one on the other side. Your bolts are going to be longer. See, these bolts are longer. You're going to get the shorter ones. Make sure you put the shorter ones. You're going to have two short ones. You have one in the front and you have one in the back. Make sure you put those where they go. And then of course your very short small boats, these go on the very bottom. As you can see, we are getting closer. We will have this one fired up before you know it. We will start it up. I will show you the Phi-Tech as soon as we get all this going on my other episode. And I just use a ratchet just to tie them all up. In fact, I'll show you a trick to that one. Give me a second, let me get this is another method you can use. Not an impact. This is not an impact. This is just a regular drill. Just a regular drill. It's not an impact. So don't use an impact wrench. Again, do not use an impact wrench. This is just to tighten them up. That's all I'm doing. And I'm using the same sequence as that paper goes, but I already have it memorized. I'll do so many small blocks. I just have it by memory, even the big block. And as you can tell, there's number 2, number 3, 4. You see how much faster when you use this? And no, this is not taking place of the torque. We're still going to come back around and torque it. And that's it. Now you're ready for the torque sequence. Since we're doing it at 65, we are going to do it at 30 first. There's 30. Remember, smooth action. Did you see? It didn't even tighten it up. It's just enough snug. The drill did just enough for the snug for it to come back and start doing your torque sequence. Did you hear that? That's 1. There's number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and so on. And then now we're doing 50. And this is foot-pounds, not inch-pounds. This 50 foot-pounds. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can message me on Facebook at Raise Engines. You can also message me right here through YouTube. But sometimes I don't get those messages on YouTube. Okay, now we're doing 65. And that's 65. The reason I like to put the lifters in there, I forgot to tell you. The reason I like to put the lifters in there before I put the heads is because, as you can see, how much more easy access. See over here, I can still reach all the way in here. On this side, it's a little more difficult to get in there. You still can do it, but I like doing things a little easier than. So here we go, 65. And then to double check yourself, you can just start from here and go all the way back. Reason why you can start here is it's already torqued. Another thing is, if you don't start torquing from the center out, what you're going to do is you're going to warp the head. If you think you can torque from front to back, you're going to warp that head. Then you're going to have a water leak, oil leak, and so on. You're not going to have the compression because now you've done warped that cylinder head. But now that it's all torqued, I can just work my way through here, double check everything. And now you can go to the bottom. You might be asking yourself, why does he have tape? The reason I put tape there, because that's where your exhaust valves are. When I paint the head, I don't want no paint inside my valves. I know you bought some heads out there and you probably seen paint inside the valves. That's a big no. Where do you think that paint is going? Once the engine starts firing up and starts running, it's going to go inside your motor, inside your oil. So now you know how to install a cylinder head. Like I said, this is part 5. I'm not making it that long. I'm just going to repeat the process to install the other head. Like I said, we already did the balancer. So now I install the other head. I'll come back and do part 6, installing the push rods and adjusting your rocker arms, which is also called adjusting your valves. Reason 4 is because these are your valves. And then I'll go into detail on your exhaust, intake, and how to adjust it. There's several ways to adjust it. I'll show you the most simplest way to do it. And then we'll install the intake. And then we'll do the FiTech, the fuel injection system. We'll install the distributor, the water pump, and then we'll end up firing this baby up. You'll get to hear it run and see how fast it revs up. For a budget build, it is going to rev up pretty fast, and you'll get to see that. Of course, I'll be selling this engine after it's all completed. Like I said, you can contact me at Raise Engines on Facebook. You can contact me here through YouTube. If you have any questions, if you want me to go over something else, if you want me to go over certain engine builds, I can go through that as well. Like I said, you'll go through my videos and you'll see supercharged engine, blown engine, ProCharger, turbocharge. You'll see quite a few engines in there. Like I said, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate you watching, and we'll get back with you and see how this goes. Thanks.